Ronnie Coleman at the 1999 Mr. Olympia versus Phil Heath at the 2013 Mr. Olympia. These two physiques are arguably the greatest physiques that ever competed on the Olympia stage from the 90s until now. Arnold and Lee Haney were the greatest in the golden era. The standards, however, changed since Dorian Yates came with that unprecedented size in 1993. That being said, Ronnie in 1999 and Phil in 2013 are arguably the greatest in bodybuilding's modern standards. I do not agree with those who claim that Phil was at his best in 2011. Phil's best years were 2011, 12, and 13, but his physique in 2013 was the best hands down. He added size and looked fuller, especially from the back, maintaining the same conditioning and separation. I've made a video comparing Phil's physique at his best. Check out the annotation in the end of this video. Regardless of the difference in photos measurements, the front double biceps shows that they both have powerful biceps, but Ronnie has the better peak. Ronnie has the wider chest and lats, which grant him the more impressive V-taper. Phil's narrow structure does not help him hitting an impressive pose. They both have massive and ripped quads, which are arguably considered among the best. I see Ronnie winning the front lat spread. He hits the pose perfectly, making use of his wider structure. Phil does not have the width Ronnie has, but I like the shape of his shoulders in this pose. They both have great conditioning with visible striations. The side chest is a tough call between the two. They both hit an incredible pose, making use of their powerful chest, shoulders, and arms. Ronnie's chest looks better ripped in this shot, but they both have insane shoulders and arms that can be easily ranked among the greatest ever. Another side chest from different years where they also presented phenomenal versions. It's really difficult to choose a winner in this pose, but I would still go with Ronnie for having the better chest overall. The back double biceps is another tough call between the two. These are the best physiques in modern bodybuilding, so choosing a winner is not going to be easy. Ronnie has the better biceps peak as we saw in the front double biceps, but Phil has the more rounded and seemingly fuller shoulders, and we will see that in the most muscular pose. They both have incredible traps, but I like Phil's more. Ronnie has the wider lats, but they both show insane details in the rear delts and the lats areas. They both have ripped hamstrings and glutes, but I still think that Ronnie's glutes look more aesthetic. Phil has the better calves. Here is another back double biceps shot with Phil from 2011. Ronnie proves again that he has the better biceps peak and the wider lats, but Phil rivals Ronnie in his superior conditioning, separation, and definition. One may argue that Phil even looks harder in the lats area. Phil still has the better traps in my opinion. Notice the details they show in the hamstrings and glutes. It could go either way, depending on the eye of the beholder. The rear lat spread is another tough call. While Ronnie looks wider, Phil looks harder. They both have massive traps that extend from their neck towards their lower back, but Phil's traps are second to none when it comes to their conditioning and definition. The superior conditioning they present in the lower section is inhuman. The side triceps was among Ronnie's least impressive poses, but among Phil's most powerful. Notice how massive and ripped Phil's triceps are, contrary to Ronnie, who had ripped triceps but lacked the size to match those of Phil. They both have phenomenal shoulders, but Phil looks harder overall. The abs and thighs were among their least impressive poses. While they both have phenomenal quads, they don't have impressive midsection. Their abs are not aesthetic and they both suffered from the bloated stomach, which cost Phil the title last year. Notice the definition and the separation in their arms and quads, regardless of the tanning. The most muscular is another tough call between the two, because they both hit among the greatest, most muscular poses, if not the greatest ever. Ronnie definitely has the more massive chest, which looks more proportional and pleasant to the eye. Phil, however, has the more rounded and fuller shoulders. The pose shows that Phil arguably has among the best shoulders in history, along with Kevin Levrone in his prime. Notice the size of Phil's arms. Another most muscular pose shows Phil's explosive shoulders and monstrous arms, and Ronnie's superior proportions and balance and insane conditioning. Ronnie would look more symmetrical in the chest and the shoulders areas than Phil, whose shoulders clearly overshadow his chest. The crab pose shows that they both have superior traps, but Phil definitely has the more rounded and the fuller shoulders. They both have phenomenal conditioning presented in the details and the striations they show pretty much everywhere, but Ronnie's massive chest looks more proportional along with the rest of his upper physique. Phil's chest is insanely conditioned, but looks overwhelmed by his monstrous shoulders. Just imagine if Phil had a wider chest. It's really a tough call to determine the winner in this pose. Ronnie has the more massive chest, but Phil has the better rounded and fuller shoulders, and they are both insanely conditioned. So it could go either way, but I would lean more towards Ronnie in this pose. So that was my analysis of the greatest physiques in modern bodybuilding. It would be a tough matchup to analyze even for experts. I see Ronnie winning the front double biceps, the front lat spread, the side chest, and arguably the rear lat spread, while Phil would win the back double biceps and the side triceps. The abs and thighs and the most muscular could go either way between the two, but I still favor Phil from this year in the abs area. Ronnie's sheer size is overwhelming, but keep in mind that Phil always defeated those who were bigger. It's true that neither Big Ramy nor Dennis Wolf were on the same level of Ronnie, but just wanna say that Phil has never been taken down by sheer size alone. Both Phil and Ronnie have insane conditioning and among the best muscular areas of all time. So it would definitely be among the greatest matchups in history. Let me know what you think about this matchup, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Thanks for watching, and have a nice one.